I know you thought no one saw you. I know you thought that moment when you bit your tongue, walked into the other room, and chose peace over proving you were right was just a small, lonely victory. But here is a psychology fact you are not ready for: that single, private decision didn't just save your day, it sent a shockwave through the spiritual realm that has permanently altered your destiny. Heaven isn't looking at your public prayers, it's looking at the version of you that finally decided to stop being predictable to your pain. You just proved your brain wrong, and more importantly, you just proved the enemy's profile of you is officially outdated. Psychologists call this pattern breaking, but between you and me, let's call it what it really is: divine alignment. You've spent years, maybe your whole life, feeling like you were running on a treadmill. Same arguments, same financial stress, same feeling of being the one who always gets left. Once you understand this, you'll see why you felt so exhausted. You weren't just fighting people, you were fighting a psychological and spiritual feedback loop that was designed to keep you in a state of survival. Your relationships and your confidence have been held hostage by a version of you that didn't know how to exist without a crisis. But something in you snapped recently, didn't it? You finally got tired of your own patterns. But here is where it gets even more personal, and this is the part where most people turn away because they aren't ready to take the mask off. Most people stop here and assume their small victory was a one-time thing. But if you're still watching, it's because you know deep down that your life can never go back to the way it was. Here is the painful part that I need you to hear: your brain actually chose that old chaos because it felt like home. Psychology says we don't seek what is healthy, we seek what is familiar. You stayed in those toxic cycles because your nervous system was addicted to the adrenaline of the fight. Here is the truth you've been hiding from: you were using your trauma as a shield so you didn't have to face the terrifying responsibility of your own greatness. But when you chose silence last week, when you chose to pray for that person instead of venting about them, you broke the addiction. You became a system error in a world that counts on you to stay broken. The dark truth is that you were your own biggest obstacle, but the miracle is that you finally moved out of the way. And this next part explains that weird, hollow feeling you've had in your chest lately. It explains why your phone is quieter and why you feel like an alien in your own life. It's not a punishment, it's a promotion. This happens because your spirit has finally reached a threshold of maturity that your old life can no longer contain. Your mind used to think, if I don't defend my name, I'll lose my value. But the reality is, you finally realized that your value was never in their hands to begin with. Physically, your brain is literally rewiring itself. You are starving the neural pathways of victimhood and building the highways of sovereignty. This is why you feel so tired. You are under construction. Spiritually, God is performing a divine recalibration. Think of it like a GPS: you took a turn that the old you would never have taken, and now heaven is recalculating your entire route. You are being pulled out of the wilderness and positioned into a season of acceleration. This is why certain people have vanished. They were assigned to the old you. They don't have the clearance to go where the new you is headed. It's not that they don't love you, it's that they don't recognize the frequency you're operating on now. If tears are hitting your eyes right now, good. It means your soul is recognizing the truth. It means you're finally ready to stop mourning the people who were never meant to see the finish line with you. Here is the wake up slap: you are not defined by what you lost in the shift, you are defined by the version of you that survived it. If you want to stay in this flow and never go back to that predictable, wounded version of yourself, I want you to start the vibration of authority habit. This is the mental trick that actually changes your life. Tomorrow morning, when the first negative thought hits you, when that person texts you or that worry about money creeps in, I want you to take a 5-second holy pause. Don't react. Don't even breathe for a second. In that pause, whisper to yourself, I no longer live in that version of me. You are not just being patient, you are asserting your legal right as a child of God to remain at peace. You are telling your brain and the spiritual realm that you are no longer a target for the old bait. Start treating your peace like $1 billion asset. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. When you do this, you aren't just changing your mood, you are commanding the atmosphere to align with your new rank. Most people will ignore this. They'll go right back to the comments sections, the gossip, and the predictable reactions that keep them small. They will stay exactly where they are, wearing a crown of shame and calling it reality. But I'm looking at you. You felt the shift. You know that heaven is watching you with a different kind of expectation now. Don't be most people. Don't go back to being a person who can be baited. Walk like someone who knows their silence is more powerful than their words. The realm has adjusted. Now, it's time for you to walk into the room like you know you're the one who shocked heaven. Here is a psychology fact you are not ready for: the most dangerous person to the kingdom of darkness isn't the one who prays the loudest, it's the one who has become spiritually unpredictable. I know you thought no one saw you. I know you thought that moment last week, when you bit your tongue, walked into the other room, and chose peace over proving you were right, was just a small, lonely victory. But you need to understand something: that single, private decision didn't just save your day, it sent a seismic shockwave through the spiritual realm. If you continue to walk in this new frequency, the harsh truth is going to hurt the version of you that was comfortable being a victim. Most people don't realize this, but your brain has been lying to you about your capacity to handle pressure. It told you that you were fragile. It told you that you would always react the same way to the same pain. But heaven is watching you right now because you just proved your biology wrong. You just proved the enemy's profile of you is officially outdated. You are no longer who you used to be, and the realm is scrambling to figure out how to handle the new you. Psychologists call this pattern breaking, but in the kingdom, we call it divine alignment. And once you understand it, you'll see why your life has suddenly felt so intense, so demanding, and yet so strangely quiet. For years, you moved through life reacting from your wounds. You were operating under what I call the contract of predictability. Your relationships, your habits, even your bank account, all of it has been influenced by this one psychological pattern, reacting to the present using the map of your past. You see, the human brain loves the familiar, even if the familiar is a house on fire. You were wired to react to disrespect with rage because it made you feel powerful for a split second. You were wired to react to lack with panic because your nervous system associated not enough with death. Because you were predictable, you were controllable. If the enemy knows exactly which button to push to make you spiral, he doesn't have to work hard to keep you out of your promised land. He just waits for you to get close to a breakthrough, pushes the insecurity button, and watches you dismantle your own progress. Once you understand this, you'll see why you felt like you've been walking in circles. It wasn't that God wasn't moving, it's that you were reacting so predictably that you kept landing back at the same spiritual starting line. You were trapped in a somatic loop, a cycle where your body was leading your spirit, rather than your spirit leading your body. But here's where it gets even more serious, and this is the part where most people stop watching because the truth becomes too heavy. Most people assume that their small choices don't matter. They think breakthroughs only happen when the sky opens up or the check arrives. That is the biggest mistake you can make. The breakthrough didn't happen because of a miracle, the miracle happened because of your maturity. Most people stop here, and that's why they never see the acceleration. But you're still here because you know something has shifted in your very DNA. Here is the painful part: your brain chooses comfort over growth every single time unless you force it to change. Psychology says people don't ignore you because they're busy, they ignore you because they don't value you. But here is the deeper spiritual truth: the enemy doesn't attack you because you are weak, he attacks you because you are a threat who hasn't realized it yet. The dark truth is that for years, you were addicted to your own suffering. You found a twisted sense of safety in being the underdog or the victim. It was your excuse for not fulfilling your purpose. But here is the truth bomb: heaven isn't waiting on God to move, heaven is waiting on you to move out of the way of your own miracle. When you chose silence over an argument last week, you did something illegal in the kingdom of darkness. You broke a biological contract. You prove that you are no longer a slave to your amygdala, the part of the brain that governs fear. You prove that your spirit is now in the driver's seat. When you stop being predictable to your past, you become a magnet for your future. The dark part of this truth is realizing how many years we wasted being consistent in our dysfunction just because we were afraid of the void that comes with being whole. And this next part explains why your life has suddenly felt so lonely. It explains why your phone is quieter, why certain friends have suddenly stopped calling, and why you feel like an alien in your own living room. It's not a punishment. It's not a dry season. And it's definitely not bad luck. This next part explains exactly why your life hasn't changed yet, until this very moment. This happens because your spirit has finally reached a threshold of maturity. Think of it like a jet engine. Before a plane takes off, it has to reach a certain speed on the runway. If it never hits that speed, it just stays a car with wings. For years, you were taxiing. But that decision you made, that choice to stay steady when you should have broken, that was you hitting takeoff speed. The psychological reality, you are currently experiencing neuro-reframing. Your mind used to think, if I don't defend my reputation, I'll be destroyed. But the reality is, you finally realize that your identity is held in the hands of the Creator, not the mouths of critics. By withdrawing your reaction, you are literally starving old neural pathways of their fuel. You are killing the bold man that the Bible talks about. And the ego does not go quietly. This is why you felt that internal itch to speak up, that burning desire to set the record straight. That was the old you fighting for its life. And you let it die. The spiritual reality, in the unseen realm, there are familiar spirits. They are assigned to your bloodline to keep the same cycles going: divorce, poverty, addiction, or anxiety. They have a file on you. They know your triggers. But when you reached this threshold, you did something that wasn't in the file. You chose divine indifference. This caused a system error in the spiritual grid. The entities assigned to keep you in that cycle had to report back that the target is no longer responding to the frequency of shame. This is why you are seeing an acceleration. This is why doors are opening that you didn't even knock on. You shifted from the wilderness psychology, where you survive on daily bread, to the promised land psychology, where you command the atmosphere. You aren't just getting better, you are being recalibrated. God is restructuring your environment to match the version of you that just awakened. He is removing what cannot walk with you and positioning what must stand with you. It is a pruning of your circle and a sharpening of your authority. If that hit you, good. It means you needed it. It means the Holy Spirit is confirming that you aren't crazy, you really are different now. Here is the truth you've been avoiding. You've been mourning the loss of people who were actually evictions sent by God. Stop trying to perform CPR on relationships that God has already pronounced dead. Wake up. The realm has adjusted. The question is, are you going to walk in your new rank, or are you going to keep acting like a private when God just made you a general? If you want to stay in this flow and ensure this isn't just a good week, but a new life, you must activate the vibration of authority habit. This is the mental and spiritual trick that actually works. First, the 5-second holy pause. Whenever an old wound is poked, when that toxic ex texts you, when that bill comes, when that coworker rolls their eyes, you must wait 5 seconds before you speak or react. In those 5 seconds, you are decoupling from your nervous system. You are moving from reaction to response. Second, the identity declaration. In that pause, whisper, I no longer live in that version of me. That contract is null and void. You are speaking to the spiritual realm in your subconscious. You are reminding the atmosphere that you are a new creation. Third, the mirror. Recalibration. Every morning, look yourself in the eye and say, my mind is steady. My crown is restored. I am spiritually unpredictable to the enemy. You are training your brain to seek sovereignty instead of validation. True authority is total internal stability. When you own your reactions, you own your destiny. When someone else can control your emotions, they are your master. But when you become shockingly mature, God becomes your only master. This is where the acceleration begins. What used to take you 10 years of processing will now take 10 minutes, because you no longer need the lesson of the cycle. Most people will ignore this. They will hear this message, feel a spark for 5 minutes, and then go right back to their old drama, their old gossip, and their old predictability. They will stay exactly where they are, wondering why their life feels like a broken record. They will keep wearing a crown of shame and calling it humility. Don't be most people. You felt the tremor. You know that something in the atmosphere has shifted. You know that you are being watched by heaven with expectation and awe. You are the one who finally decided that the generational curse stops with you. The spiritual realm is still shaking from your last decision to stay at peace. Imagine what will happen when you make the next one. Walk out of this moment like someone heaven recognizes. Walk like someone whose silence carries thunder. The realm has adjusted. Now, it's time for you to walk into the room like you're the one who shocked heaven.